Okay, I've got a question. What do a mocktail competition, Greek mythology, and a hastily planned wedding have in common?
Well, somehow, believe it or not, they're all key plot points in the 2025 movie because of Cupid, which is part of Love You Wary on the Hallmark Channel. We've got a lot to talk about, Josh.
We do, Jennifer, and we will unwrap it all for you on this episode of Do You Watch What I Watch?
Sit down and watch, then have a talk with Jennifer and Josh.
Hey guys, we are back with another fun recap and review from the Hallmark Channel. This is February, as you know, aka Love You Wary over there on Hallmark. And love is certainly in the air with this one. We're going to give you a full recap, and then a little bit later, we're going to tell you if we think it's worth the watch, Jennifer.
That's right. Josh, did you have a good Love You Wary Valentine's Day?
You know, it's not a big holiday for us as a couple. It never has been. I think it's because we just think it's a Hallmark holiday. What about you guys?
Not sponsored by Hallmark.
No.
Same, but this year we did get some family to watch the kids, and we were gonna go out to eat, and then we were like, you know what, we're just gonna go home and nap, and then order Italian food to be door dashed, and then go pick them up. It was great. It
Who
was
says
great.
love
No
is dead?
notes. Exactly. So here is the plot summary from IMDb for this fantastic movie. Best friends Naomi and Marcus participate in a Valentine's Day mocktail competition. But things go awry when Cupid interferes. Yeah, Cupid. With a love potion that affects Marcus and several of their friends. Oh my goodness. Let's get into it.
So you need to know from the start, this one stars Amy Groening and Evan Roderick. We've covered multiple of their movies here on the podcast. Big fans of both of them. I was excited to see them together, Jennifer.
Absolutely. They look good together. They just, some couples just look good together. This couple of actors, I had good feelings. The stakes were high, and it premiered on February 14th, the Valentine's Day premiere. That's
Exactly.
that's a big
Exactly.
deal. That's all the
Big
chocolates
deal.
in the heart-shaped box.
As we like to say here. Well, we are off to the races in this movie with a pretty peppy restaurant montage at start. We meet these leads here. Their names are Naomi and Marcus, and they work at this place called the Agora, and their boss, Lisa, wants to sell the place. Now, the interested buyer is a big bad developer. They own parking lots, and they are big and they are bad. So Naomi and Marcus are really invested in trying to come up with an alternative way to in their minds, save the place. Now, some folks pop by the bar, including Lisa's favorite author, weirdly enough, and it's immediate sparks, but kind of fizzles out from go. Womp womp. In the wake of this, Naomi and Marcus discuss soulmates and whether love is in fact magic. He's optimistic about the idea of love being magic. She's kind of cynical. So you kind of get that they have different personalities. These guys have been friends for a really long time, and it's clear he is head over heels in love with her. Now, a customer who senses the reality of all of this invites the two of them to a tea tasting. Mysterious customer here. He is, however, impressed with Naomi's ability to craft a killer mocktail. Stay tuned. Next day, Naomi unleashes a pretty big plan here. She wants the two of them to buy the Agora from Lisa to save the place. They run off to see Marcus's uncle, who is kind of cold and businessy and gives them the hard truth about life in the restaurant biz. They should pitch a plan, he says, to run the place with Lisa as a silent partner, but to swing it financially, they need cash, and they are going to have to earn that cash by winning an upcoming mocktail competition, so they have some cash in hand to make all this happen. The uncle has a longtime friend who I'm convinced is about to become a love interest pretty darn quickly. So they've done a good job of sort of sprinkling these people and the potential for romance because we all know what's about to happen here. Naomi and Lisa chit-chat about the plan during yoga, which is definitely not allowed. There was a lot of chitter chatter during yoga class. And as someone who's taken my fair share of yoga classes, I can tell you that is certainly not allowed. But we've seen this a time or two in a Hallmark movie where they're taking these yoga classes and just chitter chattering about everything, trying to move the plot forward.
Catching up on their love and what's going on with the business world and this, that, and the other. Now, was this more offensive or less offensive though than the Christmas movie we watched, Christmas Angel Match, I believe it was called, where the two leads were doing yoga in the clouds in heaven? What would you rather have?
Yeah,
6,
and then
7 yoga
I
in
would rather have
heaven or chatty yoga?
I'll take chatty yoga because the yoga in the heaven was weird because she Megan Ori wound up reserving the clouds so that Benjamin Ayers couldn't come and do it, and it was just a weird kind of plot point from that flick. But yeah, not one of our favorite ones from the 2025 season. Go back and listen to it if you want. But back to this one, Lisa is kind of on board with this whole idea about, maybe taking over the place, the whole sorts of things. So we're just going to have to see where that happens. Naomi has basically 2 weeks, though, to make this entire thing a reality. So she and Marcus go off to their not date at this tea place. Now, tea guy has potions and herbs and all sorts of weird things. Vegetal concoctions is how he terms it. One of them includes, I should say, a love potion that is guaranteed to give Marcus some courage. So tea guy is a little sus. Did you see where this was going with tea guy?
I mean, I knew he was sus. I didn't know who he was going to be exactly. We'll get to that later, but there is no world that I would go and participate in any of his little concoctions and snake oil. I didn't like it. And let me tell you, I was on a cruise when I was a young Jennifer, and I went on an excursion, and it was a catamaran, and it was all you could drink some kind of hunch punch something in the islands that was called Love Potion number 9. And young Jennifer was in the water in the ocean, and they just kept refilling her cup with Love Potion number 9 out of a Rubbermaid vessel. And I did not know I could not walk until I went to get on land, and it did not go well. So
Dear.
I do not
Oh dear.
I do not mess with Love Potion number 9. If this is anything like that.
The whole premise of this is about weird test tubes that have tiny little corks at the top of them. And I'm like, don't take mysterious substances from weird people that you've just met and throw them in cocktails. Just saying. Maybe a
Is
rule
there no
of thumb.
FDA law or some kind of the bar board should be reviewing this or something? It was like, who was it? Billy Bob Thornton, and who was he married to that they had vials of each other's blood around their necks for a while?
Yes.
Who was he married to?
What's her name? Angelica? No. Angelina
No,
Jolie.
comment below.
Is that it?
Angelina Jolie. Okay, there you go. That was who it was. It looked like those vials, except this was
It
more
did.
innocent because it's Hallmark. But it was weird.
It was
Still a
weird,
weird
yeah.
choice.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Weird choice. So we soon meet a podcast bro. I don't ever really get his name because I don't care. He's a podcast bro, and he is the big sponsor of the mocktail competition. Yeah.
Did you
He
realize
stops
what
by
you
the
just
Agora.
said, though? I don't really care
know.
because he's just a podcast bro.
Podcast bro.
From the mouth of a podcast bro, as you are.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Pot and kettle.
Yeah. Exactly. Anyway, he stops by the Agora and he demands to be wowed. He's a total turd, but Naomi and Marcus have to impress him, so they're off to the races. Naomi's behind the bar. She's doing her thing, and she needs an ingredient. What am I going to put in this mocktail? What am I going to impress this guy with? And she happens upon the love potion from the tea shop. She takes a whiff of it, decides, let's go for it, and dumps it in the thing. And all of a sudden, this is a huge hit. And we get this magical sound effect for all of the people, all 7 of them, who taste the cocktail here. It apparently is great. They earn a spot in the mocktail competition. Naomi tells Marcus what she did, but it's too late. Everyone who sipped it is immediately falling in love, left and right. And before you know it,
She did not
Marcus...
sip it because it
She
had
did
melon
not.
in it, and she's highly allergic to melon. So I was rearing to go if Hallmark was going to make a mockery
Exactly.
of allergies again. That's
I
a raw
know.
nerve for me, but they handled it well. She avoided it. She did not realize it was love potion, though, right? He had just
No,
slipped
she did
it
not know.
to him because he knew he
Marcus,
had feelings for
yes.
her. And then when she sees
That's
everybody
exactly
falling
right.
over themselves, she's like, "What have I done?"
Exactly.
Mm.
And everyone who sipped it, they're falling in love all over the place. Marcus winds up grabbing a microphone and sings a love song. Didn't really know that Evan Roderick could sing, but he does a great job.
He was
And I
great.
did have in my notes, he was great. And I did have in my notes that Naomi didn't try it because she's allergic to melon. And I actually put in parentheses, food allergy as a plot point. Jennifer, to you, you said they handled it well. I have to agree. I think they actually did a good job with this being a thing that didn't turn into a comedic device as they can often do.
Yeah, I hate when faces start to swell and it's a whole bit, and then somebody forgets their EpiPen and gets rushed to the hospital because food allergies or any kind of allergies are real and they can really harm you. Okay, it's not a joke. So I was thrilled. I
Mhm.
was tickled pink that Naomi just said no to the melon and thusly no to the love potion.
There you go. Naomi thinks all of this is because of the potion and is concerned about Marcus's well-being. She makes him bunk up at her place on the couch. Okay. And after they say goodnight, he tells her all sorts of sweet things from the other side of the wall. This is kind of sweet because she hears everything that he has to say and he's sort of professing his love in the whole 9 yards. By the way, for someone who's a bartender, her house is really quite lovely.
Listen, did she come into some inheritance? Do
I
we
gotta
have some
wonder.
dead family members that were well off? Because
A
ain't no
trust
way
fund.
you're making enough money as a bartender at a fledgling restaurant or whatever this place is
Yeah.
to pay for that. Yeah. Noted.
Yeah. Exactly. Marcus makes brunch the next morning. So they wake up and he's making her eggs and muffins and the whole 9 yards. They run off to the tea shop because they need more of the ingredient for the competition and they need to figure out what's going on. But what? Now the tea shop is actually a nail salon, like different signage, different everything. So there was definitely magic happening. And Tea Guy is more than Tea Guy. Cupid. There you go. They are running off to check. I know, gasp. They are running off to check on everyone who had the potion. Lisa is in big time love with the author. They've been crafting all night, and she has decided she's going to sell it all, and he's going to sell it all, and together they're going to move to Costa Rica. Okay.
Okay.
At the competition, yeah. Podcast Bro is also now in love and changed and enlightened now that he's in love with the yoga instructor that we saw earlier. The competition, by the way, is in 3 different parts. So they run into his uncle, who has decided he is going to propose to this longtime friend that we met earlier. And in this scene, Jennifer, we get a Muppets reference, which I had to think you were absolutely excited for.
It was Statler and Waldorf, wasn't it?
Yeah,
They
yeah,
yeah, they're
exactly.
like the old guys from the Muppets. Listen, the Muppets are coming back, okay? If you all didn't see my post on Instagram, they did a Muppets special on Disney Plus, and the musical guest was Sabrina Carpenter. It was very much like the original Muppet Show. It was fantastic. Out of 10, no notes. And I like Sabrina Carpenter anyways. Put Sabrina Carpenter battling to be a diva with Miss Piggy. What more do you want? Go watch it. It's fun.
Didn't
Unrelated,
have that
but
on my
there we go.
2026 bingo card, but here we are. Yeah, exactly. They're doing research on this love potion because they're trying to figure out what the deal is with it. Lab work, because apparently she just has a friend who works at a private lab and can just zip zap zap some toxicology, whatever,
Mm.
proves
Well, can we get them
unhelpful.
on the Nancy Guthrie case? Because my gosh,
Please, please, let's crack the case of where
stressed.
Savannah's mom is. Stressed out
Side
about all
note,
of this.
Josh got me invested in this case, and now I've gone so far as to sign up for a Twitter X whatever alerts when one person who's like boots on the ground news guy has updates because I don't want to miss anything. It's sad,
Can't
and
miss a moment. It's
I'm
so
I'm
sad.
infatuated with it, and we need answers. And if you
Yeah.
know something, say something.
Exactly. 1-800-CALL-FBI if you know something. I'm sure they're listening to our podcast.
Probably so.
There you go. So they're off to the library to do some research on all of this. We get some love poems. The two of them are looking at poetry. And what do you know? T Guy, aka Cupid, aka his real name is Hal, is there. He's pretty cagey about what was in the potion, but does give them a recipe for an antidote, which removes anything that he says wasn't true to begin with. Okay. So what transpires here is a search on a museum tour. They're checking out Greek mythology because basically he's given them this index card that has 4 ingredients on it. There's some weird terminology. One of the ingredients is blurred. It's a big mystery that they have to solve. So they go check out some Greek mythology. We get a museum montage. They see some paintings that point to the ingredients in the antidote. And what? Hal is in one of the paintings. This was wacky to me. I kind of loved it because it was so bizarre.
Same. I was not expecting that, but yeah, there he was. You know, Cupid works in mysterious ways.
Very
And I don't think we've
mysterious
ever
ways.
seen Cupid personified in now, to be fair, I have not seen all of the Hallmark Valentine's movies, so comment below if we're wrong. But I don't think Cupid's ever been personified much as like the Christmas movies personify Santa and Christmas magic and
Exactly.
this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
So I thought it was a creative thing. Is it wacky? Yes, but I'm here for it. You know, I like some zany.
We'll take it. Cupid tells them to think outside the box on the recipe, and they realize they are right under their noses. The ingredients, everything they need is right there. This includes having to connect with Naomi's ex, a botanist, and Marcus's jealousy is on 100. I kind of love this because he is all kinds of uncomfortable because the other guy is in the room. Naomi is beginning to clearly catch feelings and also feels weird about the love explosion happening around her, which she unpacks with a few friends again at yoga. So more talking in yoga. Okay. They figure out all of the ingredients and whip up a batch of the antidote. Lisa and the author are the first to take it, and it seems to work, kind of brings them back down to earth in terms of their budding relationship. We're off to round 2 of the competition, and the yoga instructor, her name is Jane, and Podcast Bro take their doses of the antidote, and their hot and heavy romance simmers down to kind of like a baseline friendship. Okay. Naomi is sad about what this might mean for her relationship with Marcus. He pledges that he is not going anywhere. Soon enough, they're at their uncle's engagement party. They take the antidote and, hey-oh, they are moving forward with their wedding. Surprise! They're getting married in just a few days, throwing together a big old wedding. Marcus and Naomi dance at the engagement party. They talk about love. He asks her what she wants, and they almost kiss here, but they want to do it after he's taken the antidote, which kind of makes sense to me, you know. Now it's round 3 of the big mocktail competition, and Marcus is all in his head about where things stand with Naomi. They wind up winning the whole thing, and he's pretty excited about that, but there's sort of like a half-hearted hug thing that happens, so it's clear all is not well here. Naomi runs off and happens to just kind of conjure up Cupid. He nicely calls her out on her need to plan everything and tries to slip her a little something, like a little kind of liquid courage or something, at his tea shop before she runs off to chat with her friend about worrying about him and rejecting her, as if like she's so confused as to whether he feels the way he does. Jennifer, I have to think, as a woman watching this, you had to be like, girl, duh, get it together, right?
Yeah, I mean, he's head over heels for you. And I know she thinks it's just because of the love potion, but even before then, she should have seen it. Come on. But she was dating that botanist guy or whatever before. And
Yes.
so Marcus was the last one to take the antidote because they only had enough ingredients to make 6 magic vials, I guess, and he was the 7th. So they're like, okay, we got everybody into this mess. You wait till the last bit to take yours. And I think she was kind of hoping it wouldn't work. and that his feelings would remain this way forever.
I think
Dun, dun, dun.
so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dum, dum, dum. Well, the wedding goes off without a hitch. Okay, cool. Marcus downs the antidote at the reception, and Cupid lets on that the love potion only works when both people take it. So he didn't have any kind of impact because she, of course, didn't take it. He's like, what? Then he hears Naomi singing for him at the reception, the very same song he used earlier in this movie to declare his love for her. They wind up saying all kinds of nice things to one another. Their big kiss, however, gets interrupted by the bride and groom. But before we get the big final kiss, Lisa tells them that she's going to sell the Agora to them in 2 years. So, yay, and happily ever after.
It's time for gold or coal.
Okay, it is time for our Gold or Coal segment. If you're new here, Josh and I each bring 3 gifts to the podcast based on our highs and lows of the movie. And this time, if there is more gold, we're going to call it a bullseye. And if there's more coal, it's a missed shot. And if it's a tie, it's just a meh. Josh, I'm coming to you first. What did you think about this movie?
And I went Cupid, arrows, bullseye. That's what I was doing with that.
Okay, I was confused. I was like, is it
Sorry.
Target dog? But no.
No,
I trusted there was an
I was
explanation.
trying to be creative, so
No, it's very
I hate
creative.
that I had to provide it. I'm trying to be better at these. My goodness, you're better at that part than I am. So
No,
I
you
will
know,
start
dear listener,
with-
when we started, we were like, we'll just make Christmas puns. And shockingly, we ran out of those pretty quick. And so it just kind
We
of
did.
is whatever is in our heart. So go ahead.
Whatever is
what
in
are
the
you
heart, yeah.
bringing?
Okay, so I'll start with gold. I was nervous this thing was going to be too magic-y and too weird, but I really, at the end of the day, liked the concept here, and I liked the variety of the romances conveyed, and it was very lighthearted, very easy breezy, and overall, I really liked the concept. It was a good escape of a movie.
Agreed. Yeah, I thought it was super cute. To sort of piggyback on that, really like this Cupid character, this Hal character. I mean, listen, again, I'm not drinking anything he's giving me in a vial, but it was just like a little bit of a zanier character than we typically get. And I'm looking up his actual name, Adam Jeckman. I know I mispronounced that, but Hal, top notch. I want to see him in more of these movies. He was the perfect like side character for this little bit. I thought he pulled it off really well.
I thought so too. You wanted somebody in that role who was going to be kind of a scene stealer, big
Mhm.
personality, and I think he really did a good job with that.
Knowing
being said, I've got
glances,
gold-
lots of knowing glances.
Yes. Yeah. That being said, also, I think more gold for me. I really like the leads in this. I think Evan Roderick especially does a great job of kind of playing this doofy in love guy who is kind of falling all over himself because he's enamored with this girl, and she does this she obviously feels very strongly about him too, and she has to come to a realization. I think she played it really well, and together, you're right, they just look like a great couple together. I like them together. It was great.
I really love seeing them together. It's kind of like they're the next generation of Hallmark stars, you know? Like
Well said.
they've only been in a couple movies so far, you know, a few, and so I think they're like they're leading the charge for the next generation. And so I'm happy to be in their capable hands. I'm gonna give some more gold. The scene where he was confessing his love through the door at her apartment was just shot really well, and it really gave me some mushy feelings. I really enjoyed that. I thought it was really sweet, and like seeing her facial reactions to what he was saying, like she was starting to soften him. She wanted to believe what he was saying wasn't because of this mystery vial potion, right? So I thought that was
Mhm.
really sweet and I liked it.
Well said. My last gift will be gold. I really like the underlying message of this movie that love is a choice and that only what is true remains. And at the end of the day, it's sort of like all of these couples had to kind of come to grips with coming down to earth after they had this experience. And it meant different things for these different couples, but it still meant that they could find a way to be together, whatever
Mhm.
that might look like. And I think that that's such a great message. It wasn't too pie in the sky. It was sort of grounded in a reality that I think a lot of people could identify.
Well said. I love that. My last
Thank you.
gift is a little bit of coal. The middle did drag for me a little bit when we're going through the poetry and we're trying to find the ingredients and all that mystery of it all. It just kind of slowed down a little bit. I don't know. I feel like there should have been more energy, or I just didn't really care. I didn't really care what the ingredients were. I like that they had the Greek mythology stuff in there, but just, I don't know, something got a little murky for me. But that could be a personal problem, but that's what I'm going to say. So,
No, that makes perfect sense. Yeah, it's like, why give them an antidote? Why not just give them the recipe for the thing? And that could have been the vehicle too.
yeah.
I don't know.
Eh,
Unless Cupid
whatever.
wanted them to have the antidote to see what is true remains. So there you
Mm.
go. Well, we would love to know what you thought about this movie. Go ahead and connect with us on our social media channels at Do You Watch What I Watch and let us know your thoughts. Did we get it right? Did we get it wrong? At the end of the day, we had 5 pieces of gold, 1 minor piece of coal. So we're going to call it a bullseye. And Jennifer, this is the second of the 4 Lovey movies, and I have been very impressed with the quality so far.
I know. I think this year Hallmark's off to a great start. I mean, we did not cover the January premieres, but I did go back and watched Missing the Boat with Christopher Palaha and Emily Ullerup, and I really liked that movie too. I gave it 5 gold and 1 coal as a bonus review on our Instagram page. So, and what I've heard from other people who watched all the January movies, it's been like they've been knocking it out of the park. So, here for it.
Mm.
Not as much to make fun of, honestly, but that's okay. Um, we'll see what happens next. What movie are we talking about next? Remind me.
So we've got The Stars Between Us, and this one has Sarah Drew. We love Mistletoe Mysteries, Mistletoe Murders, I should say,
Mm-hmm.
on Hallmark Plus, and I'm excited about that one. And then the 4th one, I'm a big Hannah Swenson fan.
Much is coming ahead, and while I got you here, I thought we could start a new little bit of what else are we watching outside of Hallmark
I was
movies?
going to mention that. Yes,
Yeah?
I love that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Josh, what have you been watching?
So I've been watching a couple of different things on Peacock, and my only time to watch kind of fun TV is when I'm on the treadmill just walking. And so usually it's The Traitors. I'm very into The Traitors this season. I love that show. And then there's also another ridiculous show called Stumble, which is sort of a mockumentary comedy that NBC produced about the world of competitive junior college cheerleading. And it has Kristen Chenoweth in it. And it's really funny.
I saw the preview for that. It looked really good. And yes, I'm a big
Yeah.
Traitors fan as well, and the Turret. And if you're not familiar with the Traitors, it's a bunch of people from reality shows, like from Bravo, Real Housewives to Survivor, Big Brother players, and they're competing in a castle in Scotland, and 3 of them are, the traitors trying to convince the faithful that they're not traitors and all this business. Super fun. And it has Tara Lipinski and Johnny Weir on it from, Olympic skating fame. So what I've been watching, we've been very into the Winter Olympics more than usual. I don't know. It's just been like every night. I think it's kind of, we had decision fatigue of what to watch, and my husband and I both like it. So we're like, put on the Olympics, let's see. And you find yourself rooting for people and judging them based on I know nothing about these sports. And
I
I'm
know
like, yep,
nothing.
the Twizzles, their Twizzles were off. And I'm like Googling
Their
what does
Twizzles
Twizzle
were
mean?
off. What does Twizzle mean? Yeah.
So that's been fun. We've
Oh,
been watching The
gosh.
Traitors. I have been watching by myself. Love is Blind is back on Netflix. The first 6 episodes of the 10th season in Ohio dropped. And, there's always messy drama there. So if you're watching anything that we are watching, connect with us on our socials and message us. You can find everything you know at our website at doyouwatchwhatiwatch.com on the best way to contact us, and we'll always respond to you. We don't have AI bots responding. It's us.
No,
also, if you say
it's
mean
always
things,
us.
it's us reading it and responding. So think of these faces
Keep that in mind.
when you say mean things, okay? All right, thanks.
Yeah.
What else? Special thanks to Nick Schwartz, as always, for our theme song, our dear friend. And yeah, do you want to read the synopsis for The Stars Between Us?
I actually don't have it in front of me, so we're just going to let that fly. So if you
Hey.
know what stars between us, I know it's about a news reporter and I want to say an astronomer or something like that. Do you
It's like an
know?
eclipse thing too, right? I feel like it
Let me, the
is
stars
this should this be
between
our new
us.
bit that we just try to guess what it's about? It's about some
Oh, geez.
stars.
Here we go. It stars Sarah Drew and Matt Long, and it's about a reporter who reconnects with a stranger from an eclipse event. Okay, we'll see.
So there wasn't much more to
There you
say
go.
than what we already said. There you go.
Apparently not. Yeah.
Yeah, like our page, subscribe. If you want to leave a 5-star rating and review, we would love that because it helps our podcast get noticed a little bit more. Regardless, next time we're going to have a lot to discuss, but until then,
May your days be merry and bright. We'll see you soon.